Multiple Pentagon war game simulations reveal a terrifying outcome. In a war against China in the Pacific, the United States might lose, and the numbers behind this reality are even more alarming. China has more people, more missiles, more factories, and more geographic advantages than ever before. This is a contest defined by distance, by industry, and by raw manpower. China, 1,420,000. United States, 340,000. That 4-to-1 demographic imbalance shapes everything else. This is not an abstract debate. It is a cold ledger of power, production, and people. So we ask the uncomfortable question: in a conventional war fought in the Western Pacific, could the United States actually lose to China? The most fundamental number is population. China is a nation of more than 1.4 billion people. The United States is a nation of roughly 340 million. Let us repeat that. China over 1.4 billion. The United States just over 340 million. This 4-to-1 demographic imbalance shapes everything else, from the factory floor to the front lines. It represents a strategic reserve of manpower, intellect, and industrial labor. A larger population provides a deeper well for soldiers, sailors, pilots, engineers, technicians, and factory workers. For every one pilot, technician, or infantry soldier the United States fields, China can draw from a pool 4 times as large. The sheer size of China's population allows its leadership to mobilize society for high-intensity conflict in ways a smaller democratic nation would struggle to sustain. Parallel to demographics is a hard military reality. China now fields the world's largest navy by number of ships, powered by the fastest shipbuilding industry on Earth. Its missile arsenal, DF-21D, DF-26, and a host of cruise and ballistic systems, is built to push U.S. forces back. Layer on AI-enabled drones and hypersonic weapons, and the balance of risk tilts further. America must defend Europe, the Middle East, and Asia simultaneously. China focuses almost exclusively on the Pacific, a concentration of force and attention the U.S. cannot mirror. These facts form the new balance of power, and the challenge is only beginning. Rand Corporation, CSIS, and Pentagon-run simulations point to a grim pattern in Taiwan scenarios. In the vast majority of runs, the U.S. loses carriers, bases, and thousands of troops within days. China launches saturation missile strikes that overwhelm layered defenses. Proximity lets China replenish hourly. The U.S. needs days or weeks across the ocean. War games begin with a massive barrage of Chinese missiles. Within hours, forward bases in Japan and Guam are struck, runways cratered, aircraft destroyed on the ground, command and control disrupted. Simultaneously, anti-ship ballistic missiles target U.S. carriers and surface combatants. The volume of incoming fire overwhelms defenses, leading to simulated capital ship losses. The cost in lives mounts rapidly. China employs cost imposition, hundreds of relatively cheap missiles to destroy a few priceless assets. U.S. forces burn through expensive interceptors quickly and face exposure. Carriers pull back, operating from far outside the first island chain. Logistics stretch thin. Every resupply becomes a high-risk voyage. By the time the U.S. mobilizes and flows enough forces forward, simulations often show China achieving its objective. These results are not prophecies, but they are warnings. They conclude that, under current structures and plans, victory is far from assured, and defeat is possible. Demographics amplify these outcomes. China can replace pilots faster, mobilize millions, and outproduce at scale. In war, numbers matter, and in these simulations, numbers decide. Geography is a brutal arbiter. Taiwan lies roughly 100 miles from China's coast. For the United States, the same war is 7,000 miles away. Nearby Chinese bases can launch thousands of missiles and rearm within hours. The U.S. must project power across an ocean and maintain long, vulnerable supply lines. Population translates into endurance. Larger reserves, more engineers, more drone operators, more shipyard workers. It means faster replacement of losses and a home front workforce capable of sustaining a long conflict. Hundreds of millions of citizens steeped in STEM fields feed hypersonics, drone swarms, and electronic warfare. Meanwhile, the U.S. struggles with recruitment shortfalls and an aging population. A damaged Chinese jet can be repaired and turned around for another sortie the same day. A damaged U.S. jet may face a journey of hundreds or thousands of miles and weeks out of action. China's proximity accelerates operational tempo and regeneration of combat power. Over time, attrition favors the side that can repair, rearm, and return fastest, the home team. 1.4 billion versus 340 million is not simply a statistic. It is a strategic reality that sets the terms of endurance. With just 340 million people, America faces a recruitment crisis as fewer young citizens qualify to serve. A smaller mobilization pool constrains surge capacity for pilots, technicians, and sailors. China builds an order of magnitude more ships per year. China produces roughly 10 times more steel and runs the world's largest manufacturing sector. U.S. industry is advanced but smaller and specialized. China's workforce and plants optimize for scale. Production lines for key munitions like LRASM and SM-6 remain constrained. Recent conflicts exposed Western stockpile fragility and slow replenishment cycles. U.S. aircraft carriers, symbols of power, are also giant targets. Forward bases like Guam and Okinawa sit within range of large missile inventories. Long supply chains slow reinforcement and invite submarine, missile, and cyber interdiction. Global commitments strain readiness. Older airframes, stretched ship availabilities, and worn crews. A peer fight demands surge production, mass, and staying power, areas where the U.S. currently faces structural limits. Thousands of missiles strike U.S. bases. Satellites are blinded. Command links flicker. U.S. aircraft carriers retreat beyond the first island chain to survive. Drone swarms soak up interceptors and pry open air defenses. China mobilizes millions of civilians and troops, spinning up factories around the clock. America cannot replenish ships and jets fast enough. In war, numbers matter, and China has the numbers, the proximity, and the industrial hurricane to outlast the United States. War is not destiny, but demographics, geography, industry, and technology have rewritten the balance of power. The next war, if it happens, will not resemble the last, and the world must understand why the United States might not win.